My first day with my cello or my bass. So this video is our first day with the cello and bass. I already did a video with the violin and viola. So you've been to the music store or you've been to school and you picked up your instrument. It's a cello. You can't believe it. I'm going to play the cello. You bring it in to your car and you're careful with it. You set it in your car, which I'll probably talk about in just a minute. And you take it home and you get home and you can't wait to get it out. So this video is going to go over some tips about how to safely get your instrument out and play it for your first day. Let's get started. This one is a soft case. It's a cello. It's got a handle. I'm tall enough to carry it like this when I'm walking around. Okay. It might be a little too heavy for you, or it might drag on the floor because you're not as tall as I am. On the back of this case there's some shoulder straps. Look at that. Okay, so you can carry it like a backpack. All right. Now, sometimes these straps are not very dependable. So you want to make sure you look at the strap carefully and make sure it's not ripped or missing some sort of thread or something, okay? Because I don't want it to fall off your shoulders. All right, here we go. I'm going to sit down on the chair, and this is what you should be doing when you get home and want to play the cello. So let me tip the camera down a little bit so you can see what's going on. All right, might have to tip it up a little bit. Oh yeah, I got to tip it back up just a little bit more. There we go. All right, cello player and bass player. So what you want to do is you want to bring it over to your chair, set it down on the side like that, next to your chair. And now we'll get it out, all right? To get this cello out, I want to unzip it and hold it a special way, okay? This particular case has two zippers, one on the top and one on the bottom. I'm going to turn this around so you can see the bottom a little bit better, okay? Notice on the end, there's a peg that sticks out of the bottom. That's normal, and it's kind of sharp, so be careful not to poke yourself or to scratch your hardwood floors at home. If you're practicing, try to practice on carpet so that this doesn't scratch any linoleum, vinyl, or hardwood floors. So we've got a zipper that zips down here and a zipper that zips up here all the way across the top. So I want to do that over in my chair now. And the zipper here. All right, I'm going to open it up. There we go. I'm going to take the instrument out of the case. The top of the instrument is kind of stuck in the pocket in the top. So I'd have to kind of shift it to the right, kind of shift it out of that little space where the top is, okay, to get it out safely. So bring it out carefully. Don't just jerk it out of there. There we go. And now I'm going to place the cello on the floor still, on its side, on its edge. See that? Okay, that's the safest way to put an instrument on the floor, a cello or a bass. I'll talk about that later. Next, we can put the case away, but we might want to get our bow out from the case, and that is located right here in the top of the case. See right there? Okay, I want to get that out first. But right now, I'm not going to get it out right now because I'm going to show you how to play the instrument with your finger first, and then I'll get the bow out later. Now, when we're at school, in our classroom, I am going to ask the violins and violas to keep their cases on the left side of their instrument. Okay, that is true for cellos as well. So bring the case up close to your chair, right beside you, and that's going to help us keep the room organized so we're not tripping on cases everywhere, okay? All right, so here's my cello. On the end of the cello is what's called an end pin, okay? I'm going to pull that end pin out in order to make the cello tall for me because I'm a tall person. See how that looks? That's for me. Okay, you probably will not need to pull it out as far, but just a little bit. Okay, and you'll figure out how to do that more as we get into more of our lessons. Okay, so let me show you how to get that end pin out again from the back side of your instrument. All right, so right here is the tightening nut. Okay, we just want to loosen it. Don't take it out. Don't screw it all the way out. Just loosen it. Okay, and then we're going to pull the peg out. You'll probably want to pull it out maybe about that far, about 6 inches or so. I have to go way out there to make it the right height for me. Okay, and then we're going to tighten it. Tighten the tuning or the tightening nut right there. Okay, all right, take it back to my seat. All right, so the parts of the cello are just like the violin and viola. On the top is called the scroll. Okay, these are the tuning pegs. These are the strings and the fingerboard. This is the body called the bout, big bout, okay? And down here is the bridge, and we talked about that in the violin and viola video. But there's the bridge. You want to be careful with the bridge that you don't bump it and knock the bridge down. So be careful that you don't lean the instrument against something or lay it on the floor upside down on the bridge. That's a big old no-no, all right? So be very careful not to hit that bridge and make it fall down. All right. Set the cello on the floor in front of you like this, okay? Grab the neck with your left hand. There's your left hand, okay? And straighten your arm straight out in front of you like this. Sit tall in your chair on the front edge of your chair with your arms straight, okay? Now, if the cello is leaning back like that when your arm is straight, then make the cello go straight up and down like a tree, okay? It should be vertical right now as you're holding it with your straight arm, okay? Now, bring it back. Let it pass by your left ear and let it rest against your chest. You might want to lean just slightly forward and let it rest right there against your chest. My knees are on the side of the bout, right on the side of the instrument, and I'm going to kind of just hold the instrument with my knees right there, okay? Your feet, do not put your feet out there like you're resting and relaxing on the couch. Okay, bend your knees so it's about a 90 degree in your knees. Okay, and put them right beside the bout like that. Okay, so sit up tall, let the instrument lean against your chest. There's my left hand. Okay, we're going to bring the left hand over to the strings. Okay, our thumb is going to go back behind the neck. Okay, and our tips of our fingers will push down on the string to get different notes. Here's my right hand. I'm going to place my thumb on the side of what is called the fingerboard, the little black fingerboard, and then I'm going to pluck the string with my pointer finger, with my first finger. A little bit, in a few minutes I'll show you how to use the bow. But for right now, on your first day of using your cello and bass, you will want to just pluck the string for a while until you get kind of used to holding the instrument and using the correct hand. And then we can try the bow, okay? All right, so here we go. My left hand's over here, kind of like I got a wing, got my wing out there like a chicken wing. My elbow's sticking out there a little bit, okay? My right hand is down here, not on the bridge, but right here next to the end of the fretboard. So right there, that's where my thumb goes. Here's my finger, it's gonna grab, I'm just gonna pluck the tip of my finger on the string like that to get the different sounds. All right, again, so I got it there in front of me, bring it back to my chest, sit up tall, stand up, or sit up tall, pluck the open strings. See what they sound like. Nice. Oh, a really low string is awesome, right? Now, you bass players, you'll do the same thing, but you'll be standing. You will not be sitting in a chair. Are you sitting in a chair right now? I bet you are, because I didn't tell you to stand. Well, do not sit in a chair. Okay, so bass players, you're standing when your instrument is going to be like really big and tall, you're actually going to lean that instrument against your body and you're going to play it standing up, okay? All right, so there we go. Got the cello straight up and down, bring it back into position. Okay, now we might want to play some notes. So we're going to push down on the string with our fingers in these different places. And that gives us some new sounds. Try a different string. And of course you can play that Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star song. Thank you. Thank you very much. So have fun with your cello until we can meet our first day, but do be careful. The instrument is fragile, it really is. It's hollow, and so it's not really strong and tough. It's pretty fragile. So be careful with it. When you put it down, rest it on the floor on its edge, okay? Here's why. If you put the cello on the floor on its back like this, the back of the cello is kind of curved. Can you see how it's kind of curved? Okay, and so what's going to happen is if we put that cello on the floor, one is it's not, see how it rocks because it's curved? And that curve is an important part of the manufacturing of the instrument. If we kind of accidentally step on it or we push down on the instrument for some reason, on accident or on purpose or whatever, it might crack the wood. Because this is just a thin piece of wood back here. And if we push down on the floor, it might crack that wood and ruin our expensive instrument, our cello. So the best thing to do is to leave it on its edge. It should balance there fairly nice. And that will be the safest way to put the instrument down when you're not playing it. Now, when you're done playing it, you can lean it up against a corner in the room, you know, or put it in a secure place so it doesn't fall over, okay? And it would be smart also when you put it away that you loosen this, push the end pin in, tighten that up, and then you can lean it in the corner of your room or wherever you, against the wall, okay? But make sure it doesn't fall over and get hurt, okay? All right, so take good care of that, all right? Now I'm gonna show you what to do with the bow. I'm gonna pull this back out, about like that for me. Okay, I'm gonna put this down on the ground for now so I can have my hands free to get the bow. Zip it. There's the bow. Yeah. All right, now the bow has hair on it. I think I talked about this in one of my other videos, little string on there. And on the end is this tuning nut, okay, or this tightening nut. They keep calling it the wrong thing. So I want to tighten the hair. What this does is it stretches the hair. It stretches this white hair and makes it tight, okay? Now when it's tight, it's ready to be played. Okay, and there's a little space between the stick and the hair, and that's about what we want. Okay, so I'm trying to go a little bit faster so this video is not too long. I'm sorry it's going so long. So now we're gonna hold the bow, the stick of the bow, okay, and ready to play. Hold it in your right hand, get our instrument up into playing position. Okay, there it is, and bring it on back. Okay, our left hand, little wing out here. Up here on the neck. Okay, our bow, we're gonna hold the bow at the end here where all these different parts of the bow are all together. Grab the stick with your fingers and your thumb. I'll show you how to do that better once we're in class and once we've had a couple weeks of practice, okay? Okay, the tip of the bow is sticking up, all right? Holding the bow in our right hand, horizontal, vertical, horizontal. All right, so hold it horizontal. and place the bow on the string between the bridge and the fingerboard. Okay, the bridge and the fingerboard. Place it right in the middle and move it across the string, but keep your bow level, horizontal across the strings. Don't let your bow go. See how it's crooked now? It's diagonal. Okay, so that's one of the trickiest things to do with the bow is to go. Keep the bow balanced so it's level. And then go the other direction. Okay, this is called a down bow. And that's called an up bow. Try a different string. Another string. Oh man, I like that note. And the string that's farthest away. Now, if you want to get really fancy, remember this is your first day with your instrument. I'm showing you a lot. You probably won't do all this on your first day, but you can try it if you want. Bow the string and push down on the strings with your fingers over here, and you'll get different sounds. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Hey, it's time to put the instrument away, so let's do it carefully. I'm going to set the cello down on its side. I'm going to loosen the bow hair, lefty-loosey. Remember, lefty-loosey. That's enough. Okay, just loosen it a little bit. Stick this back in the case. Tip first. Zip it up. Okay, place the case on the floor. Open it up. Can you see that? Tip the camera down a little bit more. There we go. Open the case up. Had to zip it a little bit more. All right, so push the end pin in, loosen it up, push the end pin all the way in, tighten it. Stick the scroll of the cello in first, carefully, so the tuning pegs don't catch on the fabric and untwist themselves. That would be bad. Okay, next, wrap the case around the instrument carefully. Make sure it's in there with all the flaps going over the edges. Remember, there's two zippers. So that one zipper is zipped right there. And slide it over here so I can get the other zipper. And we have done it. All right. Now, do you have to put it in the case every time you're done practicing? No, but that can be a decision between you and your parents. If they want to make sure you don't damage it or scratch it or anything, you might want to put it in the case every time. But a lot of us, once we have a good place in our room to keep our instrument, we don't need to put it in the case every time. We can just leave the instrument out, and that way it's easy to go get and to practice each day, and we don't have to bother with the case. The case is just nice if like you're carrying it, take it in your car or something like that. By the way, when you put this in the car to take it home, please make sure that you put it in a safe place so that it's not pushing on the strings. Remember the bridge part. Don't lay it down on a seat or on the floor of your car upside down, because then it's resting on that bridge again. Try to put it in your car like this, on its edge, slide it in behind the seat or something carefully, and carry it or transport it like that. And that'll keep the instrument from getting broken, okay? All right, awesome. Well, I hope that helps you get started. I'm sure you got a lot more questions, but we'll have to talk about those later because this video has turned out to be longer than you probably wanted to watch. So here we go. I'll see you guys soon.